Hello, I'm Violeta.
And I'm Manu. We are part of the Codice software development team.
And we are going to show how to configure and use the exclusive checkout in Plastic SCM 4.0.
Hey, Violeta, hold on a second. The 4.1 release is already out.
It's true. It was yesterday published.
Okay. This presentation will take around 20 or 30 minutes.
If you have any questions during the talk, we will be pleased to answer them. You can interrupt us at any moment using either the chat or just talking.
There are two main things we want to talk about today.
To begin, we want to explain briefly how we work and why the exclusive checkout is so important and useful for everybody's work. It is not just a cool feature or something more to say that Plastic has. The exclusive checkout is something we use every day in our work.
I will explain you later how to configure the exclusive checkout with the log.conf file and also how to use all the path rules.
So here it is, our real daily scenario. We wanted to start explaining this because in the previous webinar last week, any of you asked for examples of use in the real world. Well, without going into too much details, we work following the Scrum methodology. Every 2 weeks, we arrange a planning meeting where we discuss the tasks we are going to be included in the new sprint. Besides using our own issue tracking system, we use an Excel file to have our sprint backlog. All members of the team have to modify that backlog to estimate and update their task. So we need the exclusive checkout because we cannot merge that file. As you know, the binary files cannot be merged. We are not in a big group of developers, but imagine in a large office, trying to find out who is using the backlog file that you want to modify. It can be a real mess. Or even worse, if not everybody works in the same location, which is common nowadays. Because of their need, the exclusive checkout appeared already in Plastic SCM 2.9 series as a new option in the graphical user interface. In Plastic 4.1, it is something different. It can be configured per path. Manu is going to show you how to do it.
Okay, let me show you how to configure the exclusive checkout and prove you that we are the only distributed version control in the world with this feature. Okay, I'm going to explain you the setup. Here I have one central server that has some repositories, and under it I have a distributed server with the same repositories but replicated. Okay, first I'm going to explain you how to configure the exclusive checkout with the log.conf file. If you don't have it, you need to create it first to work.
You can find some documentation, later we will say where.
Okay, the first line is about the repository you want to log. Here in the sample, we are using the Prince of Persia repository, and we set the log server as the localhost 8087. Is this server itself. Then all the path rules goes behind. This first one talks about all the files that are X type under this directory. The second rule is more specific. It only be apply in the cube.s file under this protection directory. This is more or less the same, but with this estimate Excel file. And the last one is about all the MKD files inside our repository. Let's save it and I will show you how it works. I will start again the server. And if I try to do a checkout here, I will success. But if I use another workspace and I will try to do the same, it will fail. we can review that the owner of the log, here it's my name, and the workspace where the file is logged, and of course the file. Let's undo the first checkout. Without the log, I'm able to create the checkout in the other workspace. Easy, right?
Manu, come on, give us another example. What happens if you switch to another branch? It also be logged?
Yes, the log system is along the repository, so it doesn't matter if you're working in a branch and your coworker is in a different one. All the rules are applied in the whole workspace, in the whole repository, sorry.
Could you show us?
Sure. Here, we are working in master SCM 001. Let's switch here to a different branch. And now try to use this other file that is under the third rule, the mkd files. Let's try now to do the same in this file. Okay, it fails because it's checked out in the main branch. Okay, in this case, it's the master branch because it's a GitHub repository. Let's undo the change, modify it in the first workspace, and let's create some changes. I will commit my files. And let me upload my changes into GitHub. Okay, let me write my password. Okay, I see now that all my plastic changes are pushed into GitHub. And here I have my changes in GitHub. Okay, it was easy. Let's continue. Now imagine that I want to set up a distributed scenario. So I need to configure this server, edit the log.home file, and select a log server. In this case, the repository is not the same name, it's Prince of Persia local, and the log server will be the first one, localhost 8087. This other server is listening in a different port, it's listening in 8089. But our log server will be the same, the central one. And the rules are going to be the same. Let's start it. And use this other repository. This workspace is pointing to localhost 8089, this server. Let's create a checkout. Imagine now that I go home to continue my work, or I go to spend my weekend at home, and I forget to commit or undo these changes. All my coworkers will be affected by this checkout because they will not be able to create another checkout of this file. In these cases, we have a command that will be very useful in this scenario because we can force to remove these logs. Let me explain. Sorry. Okay, here we have our README MK file, and this is the unique identifier of the exclusive checkout. If I want to remove it, I only have to do cm unlock.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Unlock with the unique identifier. I will run again the list logs.
Manu, I have a question.
Yeah.
That command, can use it everybody?
No, this command is only allowed to be run by the administrator, the repository server administrator. So only administrators can unlock the exclusive checkouts.
Okay. Okay, let's sum up. If you don't have any question, we already explained why exclusive checkout is necessary in the real world. For example, for us, we work every day with our backlog file, and we have to use it because we don't want to be all the time asking to everybody if someone is modifying that file or using it.
Violeta, I want to add that some games studios are very waiting for this feature because they are very constrained about big binary files that are not able to be merged in any way. So they can use this new feature to control the huge binary files.
Also, as Manu explained before, it's really easy to configure. In this case, it's different that in 3.3 series. Now in 4.1 is configured per path, and is also you can also use it in centralized or distributed scenarios. Are there any questions?
I'm going to unmute you, so you will be able to ask using the microphone or the telephone. And if you want, we can create more examples or wherever you want.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello?
Hello?
Hello, one question. When I'm creating the lock.conf file, it will be placed inside the workspace tree, or it's a file that's going to be in server configuration file folder?
The log.conf file must be placed in the server directory. Okay, it's common for all the workspaces in your server. Okay.
It's not under control. It's just
Yeah, but
which one do you want?
imagine that I am. Sorry, go on.
Yes, sorry. Go ahead. Plácido, sorry. Can you continue?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, imagine that you're creating a new installation of Plastic, and the file is not going to be there for the new installation.
No.
I have to manually copy the file.
Yes, you have to manually create it. Okay, it's not in out of the box. You have to create it.
Okay, just that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, more question? Okay, Mark, Keith, do you have any questions? Do you want to make a bigger demo or something? Placido as well, if you have more question or anything you want to see.
So we are done. You still can ask us in forum, in the blog, in the user voice.
Okay. I think if you don't have more question, we can end here. Thank you very much for your attention, and we will see you in the next webinar. Thank you for all.
Thank you.
Bye bye.